أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي صل على محمد وآل محمد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear respected viewer, brothers and sisters. The title of my talk, which I'll be recording, is Iran and the confused Sunni political consciousness. The recent April 14th direct Iranian attack on Israel, marking the first direct attack on the Zionist state by Iran, where Iran launched a wave of more than 300 drones and missiles at Israel, has laid bare profound issues within Sunni Muslim political consciousness. In this discourse, I will delve into the nuances of mainstream Sunni political awareness, exploring its levels of maturity and depth or lack thereof. Now, why does this matter? Understanding the complexities of Sunni political consciousness is paramount. A weak, biased, and distorted political mindset amongst the majority of Muslims leaves them susceptible to the machinations of their adversaries. The enemies of Muslims, including Israel and its Western supporters like the USA, UK, and France, alongside Sunni Arab vassal states such as Saudi Arabia, perpetrate, aid, and abet atrocities against Palestinians with impunity. In the past 194 days, as of recording of this video, over 30,000 Palestinians have been genocided in Gaza. That's 30,000 Muslims, Sunni Muslims to be more precise. The liberation of Palestine from Zionist occupation is hindered by the paralysis of Sunni political consciousness, which tragically fails to heed the cries of the oppressed Gazans, who, despite being Sunni themselves, find their pleas unanswered by their Sunni brethren. The entire Sunni world, it seems, is paralyzed, while large segments of it cast judgment on Shia Iran from a position that can only be described as either delusional, hypocritical, or both. Now, why label Sunni political consciousness as confused? The term is apt, reflecting the internal contradictions that plague it, undermining its integrity and coherence. While Sunnis fervently pray for the liberation of Palestinians, they often fail to acknowledge Iran's pivotal role as the primary material supporter of the Palestinian resistance, a fact openly recognized by Sunni resistance groups like Hamas. Despite Iran's recent direct attack against Israel on April 14th, 2024, just a few days ago, Sunni political consciousness remains clouded by suspicion and cynicism, directing unwarranted hostility towards Iran. This clouding of the Sunni political consciousness results in it aligning uncomfortably with the agendas of Israel and the West. Both view Iran, the primary supporter of Palestinians, as their existential enemy. Such an alignment epitomizes the confused state of Sunni political awareness, or lack thereof, a phenomenon deserving scrutiny from discerning viewers and listeners. Stated in other words, the confused Sunni political consciousness ends up aligning perfectly with the consciousness of the Anglo-Zionist empire currently genociding Gazans. Both are inimical toward Iran. The disturbing result is mainstream Sunni political consciousness ends up aligning perfectly with the political consciousness of Israel and the West. One troubling manifestation is the response of the Nawasib, also known as or represented by Salafis and Wahhabis, who historically harbor virulent anti-Shia sentiments, venerating figures like Muawiyah and Yazid, Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan and Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Nasibi's disdain for Iran and Shia Muslims is evident in their use of derogatory terms like kuffar and rawafid when referring to the Shia of Ali alayhi salam. This group is especially fond of the writings of Ibn Taymiyyah, whose disdain and denigration, tanqis, of Imam Ali alayhi salam is well documented, as are the rich excuses he gave to the enemies of Imam Ali alayhi salam and the enemies of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam in his polemical writings. Madkhalism, which springs from Nasibism, which is to have an enmity and hatred to Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam and Imam Ali alayhi salam, which is often very veiled. It's a whole other topic. How do you detect a Nasibi? They are actually everywhere, especially in the online space. Madkhalism, which springs from Nasibism, exhibits a pathological disdain for the Palestinian resistance, for the Palestinian muqawama, blaming the Palestinian resistance for the genocide in Gaza while advocating subservience to tyrannical rulers. This political quietism conveniently aligns with the same mentality that has historically leveled criticisms at Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his stance against the tyrant and illegitimate Yazid, who cloaked himself with the title of caliphate. And these factions criticize Imam Hussein alayhi salam for his uprising against Yazid rather than his submission to Yazid, because Yazid was the ruling authority of the time. Authority in inverted commas. Regrettably, these misguided voices wield significant influence over mainstream Sunni political consciousness, particularly online, attracting millions of unwitting Sunni followers. While quick to offer empty, hypocritical prayers for their oppressed Palestinian brothers and sisters, their silence on the Palestinian issue and lack of support for resistance efforts exposes their hypocrisy, betraying the true principles of Sunni Islam. Now, the more mainstream Sunni political consciousness, while not infected with Nasibism, an ideology steeped in veiled hatred and enmity toward the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, peace be upon him, the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, and their followers, the Shia of Ali, peace be upon him. Whereas the mainstream Sunni political consciousness is not as infected with the poison of Nasibism, it's nonetheless deeply problematic. While Nasibi and Madkhali factions yearn for Iran's destruction, even going so far as to wish harm upon Shia Muslims and supporters of the Ahlul Bayt, their ultimate dream entails Iran's annihilation through a US-led attack, with Sunni Arab vassal states offering military support. In this scenario, Shia Iran is goaded into a war with Israel, while the Sunni Arab vassal states put the dagger in the back of Shia Iran, watching the US and its allies finish Iran off. This is the proverbial wet dream of these munafiqs, these hypocrites. In contrast, the more mainstream Sunni political consciousness, while not as virulently hateful, manifests as a confused malaise characterized by statements such as, all Muslim countries are led by non-believers, none adhere to the Sharia, they are all equally corrupt, Iran acts solely out of its self-interest, it's indifferent to the plight of the Palestinians. This consciousness exhibits traits of mental laziness, stubbornness, insolence, and irrationality. Lumping Shia Iran with the vassal Sunni Arab states, enjoying economic prosperity, high GDP, and unfettered access to the global economy due to their compliance and collaboration with the Anglo-Zionist agenda. This misguided perspective lumps Iran, which has had brutal sanctions imposed on it for over 4 decades, sanctions imposed upon it because of its refusal to bow to the Anglo-Zionist empire, with the collaborator Sunni Arab vassal states, who with their kingdoms and fiefdoms and petrodollar alliances with the West ensure the continued occupation of Palestine. Attempts to highlight this distinction and invite Sunni Muslims to reflect on it often elicit dismissive responses as they double and triple down on their political blindness, incapable of discerning meaningful distinctions between Shia Iran and the Sunni vassal states, including Turkey, which has had friendly diplomatic and economic relations with Israel. Yet, there are voices within Sunni circles advocating for a more nuanced understanding, acknowledging Iran's crucial support for Palestinian liberation. Sadly, these voices within the mainstream Sunni political consciousness are often marginalized, accused of being covert Shia sympathizers or agents of Iran, reflecting a troubling lack of confidence in Sunni Muslims' ability to accommodate political awareness and rational discourse. And this echoes the plight of figures like the late Sheikh Tajuddin al-Hilali, the Grand Mufti of Australia, who faced accusations of Shia sympathies or actually being Shia when he opposed the Anglo-Zionist war against Syria, ultimately being forced out of his position by the very community he faithfully served for decades. He was a Sunni Muslim leader, Lebanese Muslim. To conclude, contemporary Sunni political consciousness poses a significant challenge to the Muslim world, perpetuating divisions and hindering efforts for Palestinian liberation. This directly hurts Sunni Muslims themselves, ensuring the continued occupation of Palestine as the Sunni vassal states actively collaborate with the USA and Israel and conspire against Iran, or outwardly reciting hypocritical prayers for the Sunni Muslims of Palestine. Raising the mainstream Sunni Muslim political consciousness is essential for broader Sunni Shia unity and the ultimate defeat of the Anglo-Zionist imperialist agenda. Thank you for watching. This is a new channel, so your support is appreciated. Your subscription and liking and sharing this video lets me know that you would like me to produce more content for you. If that's the case, please like the video, please share it, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.